Yo y'all, it's Quantum. So, you want to become a pro in Gorilla Tag, but there's only one issue. You don't know anything about the game. Don't worry, I'm gonna do a full in-depth tutorial on everything you need to know. Let's go ahead and get started because I don't want to waste your time. Hertz is actually your refresh rate in the headset, so the higher your hertz, the smoother the game looks. But if you have less hertz, your game lags, therefore causing you to get a tiny advantage in a weird way. So if you're on a Quest headset, you're gonna need a cable, and you can use side quest to go ahead and put that on 60 hertz. Look up a tutorial. I know you're late, but if you're on PC VR like me, it's real easy. Come on, dude, just change your set. Alright, what did I have now? So, for hertz, basically 60 hertz is the perfect thing for walls, but it can get a little nauseous and a little annoying at times. 72 is kind of like a perfect in-between, almost, because it gives you a slight advantage in walls, and it gives you a good advantage in ground, just like 60 hertz, but branching is also mixed in there. But 90 hertz is more for branching and less for walls and ground, and 120 is mostly for branching and like evasion, oh, and you can jump way higher. So this is gonna be the beginner part, but if you want the intermediate part, come to this part. But for the beginners, we're gonna start out by showing you how to get up stump. That one right there, that one. So the easiest way to do it is to go up here, and once you get near the edge, turn around and you should see this little step. Jump up on it, walk a little bit, and you're inside. So the jump may be a little difficult for you at first, but what you gotta do is you gotta smack on the ground. So you gotta go BOM! We're gonna start off with wall running, so it's pretty self-explanatory. You just go left. You're gonna stick on the wall a little bit. You'll notice that whenever you put your arm on it. So you know you're just gonna use that and throw yourself up each time. You're probably gonna want to look up. It helps. And you're just gonna keep throwing yourself up. Of course, everything that I say in this video will take some practice because you're not gonna become TTT lit. You're gonna launch yourself diagonally like this. It's gonna be at a 45-degree angle. So we were originally at this wall, but we're gonna move to the opposite wall. So now you're gonna be over here at this wall, right? What you're gonna do is you're gonna smack. So this is the motion right here. And you're gonna have to slightly adjust it depending on the shape of the wall, because you can't be doing this the whole way down, because look what happens. See how you kind of just drop? So you need to adjust with the wall, and it also enables you to go faster, but that's for later. Start off with everything slow. It's very important that this is another one that you need lots and lots of practice on if you're just starting out and you don't know what to do. So one more time. Up the wall, up the wall, up the wall, up the wall, up the wall. The goal is to go up, and if you do it enough, you can get all the way up here where the walls change colors, and this is called slippery walls because they're a little slipperier. You see that? My hand did not stay on, and I did not move. And above that is red wall. You can see it's a little bit red. Alright, so now that you're up here, you kind of just gotta go slow and take big hits. So now that you're up here, No! My alarm went off. This is actually the more advanced way to do it, so just, yeah. And then you can keep going, and then you can, no! Oh, yay! So next, guys, we're gonna be showing you the basic Lucio. So it's gonna look like this. And then you're gonna use your other arm. So it's gonna look like this. And if you can combine those, it looks really good. So this one comes with a lot of practice, but if you can get it, it looks great. So I'm just gonna put this one in slow-mo, so. So this is called a style vert, at least that's what I called it. And it's kind of your way of doing a vert, but you're gonna make it easier on yours. There's a lot of different ways, it's totally up to you, but let me show you. My style is finger, so I kind of just do that. And it actually looks pretty good, but I kind of went too much forward, so ignore me. So you're kind of just running up the wall with one finger, or if you like to do this, or whatever. But it's definitely not the most efficient way all the time. So the first thing we're going to do for advanced is going to be a backwards Lucio. So you're going to go ahead and come to this area on the wall, and you're just going to... What did you want? Ah! So this also comes with a lot of practice. So traditional vert It's usually a circular motion like this. Some people have slightly different ways of doing it, but you really should not change the way your hand is pointing from like a kind of this, not like this or this or this or whatever the weird things that comes up in your. So this one comes with an insane amount of practice. Like, I'm not even kidding, insane. So next I'm going to show you what I call a soul direction Lucio. It's kind of different from the other ones, and by kinda I mean it's very weird. The most impressive soul direction Lucio is a vertical one, so. And then there's also a horizontal version, so it kind of just looks like get up on the wall first, and you kind of just. The reason why it's still considered a Lucio is because you're using two hands in the same motion, just it is slightly twisted up. So this one's called wall bouncing. You can do it in any things that are like two lined up like this, but it kind of just looks like this. Let me show you. And then, of course, once you get better at it, it can look a little more advanced. So, like, add some birding, add some Lucio, whatever you want. It's way faster that way, though. This one can be considered intermediate if you get it right. So, come take a look at this. It can be intermediate because of the absolute speed and power that it can give you. Because, look, this is technically on walls. Here, let me show you. So doing it like that can be a little bit more difficult, and that's why it can be technically considered intermediate. But we're gonna go ahead and go back over here. So take a look at this. You know, you kind of do it like that. So you should be able to see me on the wall. So it kind of looks like this from the wall. And yeah, you're just gonna practice that motion right here, where you kind of just slap your arms together and throw yourself up. And you're gonna get faster over time. You don't need to go this fast the moment you start. So next, I call this my double hand vert. It only works on intangible objects where you can phase through, and it looks like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to do it. So you're gonna phase your arm into the wall, because this part of your arm is not a hitbox. You're gonna phase it into the wall, and you're just gonna practice doing this and this. As you can see, my arm phases into the wall, and you just push yourself up the wall using the phase. Alright, so now we're actually on branching, so we're going to also put this part into beginner, intermediate, and advanced. So let's go ahead and get started. Timestamps will be in the timeline as normal. So we're going to go over to platforms. Platforms is a whole bunch of trees, so it's good for branching. So now that you're up here, there's a whole bunch of trees to choose from. So if you're getting chased, just choose the smartest route. So let's say you're getting chased from this way, then it wouldn't be smart to go this way because lava monkeys actually have a speed boost. So what you're going to do is you're just going to evade. And maybe you want to juke back. Once you have a tree, maybe you want to pinch climb it. If you're good, you can scale it. Once you find your tree, you're going to want to find a branch. So let's just say you want to go over here. Maybe you're going to want to turn around, hit this one, go over to this branch. Where else could we go? How about up? And over here. And over here. And then smack up this one and do that wall running that we taught you. Land over here and go over here. So you're just going to want to take it slow, learn the basics, figure out what branching even is. So now that we're actually in intermediate, we're going to go a little bit more in depth. For intermediate level branching, you're going to want to go a little bit faster. So it's kind of going to look like something like hoo ha, hoo ha, hoo. I hit something. So underbranching is when you hit the underside of a branch to go onto a route. So for example, here's another one. So for scaling, you're kind of just going to walk up the wall. Yeah, I've just become G. Really, you're going to push in the wall using your arm being inside of it. So let me show you. So your arm's going to like go up the wall. It's kind of complicated to explain, but you're kind of just going to run up it. You can look up if you up, so you know where you're actually going. And you're going to start out like nice and slow like this. You might not get it, but then you get a little bit faster. And you're gonna get even faster and faster until you're. I'm having a bad day. If you take it personal, that's okay. Oh, despicable.
Despicable Me.
Kind of just go somewhere like here, and then once you get here, you're kind of just gonna smack into another place. So your turn backs is just when you turn back around the direction you were going, and it lands you on another branch, and I cannot get out of here. Yeah! Cutbacks and turnbacks are kind of just when you rotate back and rotate back to a branch you were previously on, or one near that you were on, but obviously you're gonna want to use these in different correct situations. For example, you're not gonna want to use a cutback onto the same branch you landed on if there's a monkey chasing you. If there's a lava monkey chasing you and he's on the branch behind you, that's not good. But if he's not hard following you, which means he's not exactly copying your route, then you might be able to do that because he might not go on that branch. So you kind of just got to use your common sense. So this is when routes begin to get more complex. So you're not just gonna, I don't know, maybe you would want to go over here. No, you gotta juke them. You gotta confuse them. The whole game is about confusion. So what you're gonna do? All right, so maybe you're gonna underbranch. Are you serious? So maybe you're gonna underbranch. Since we finished complex branching, we're gonna go on to extreme speed. This is important if you're a branch main. So this is especially important if you cannot comprehend complex routes like me. Instead of just being like, okay, yeah, all right, this is nice. How about no? Maybe incorporate some jumps. So you really have to manage how hard you're hitting things, and this is one of the things I struggle with most in Gorilla Tag. If you're gonna go here, then you have to calculate this very quickly. So you're not gonna go and then you die. You're gonna have to go. So for this, you're gonna have to focus very hard on making your own routes completely on your own, because you're not gonna have route for every single situation when you're getting chased, and also you don't have time to think about what the route is. So you can't spend 5,000 hours in the game working on all your routes unless your name is Pepsi D, and in that case you get banned. So you're gonna have to focus very hard on making your own routes, and it's sometimes it's a skill you're gonna have to learn by yourself all the time. You gotta kind of work some stuff on the spot. You have to realize what routes would be smart. So this kind of turns back to the turnbacks. Oh, no pun intended. So you gotta know which one is smart to do. So not that one. Obviously some routes are not good. So let's say you're getting chased by a lava monkey right there, or a rock monkey, because you're doing a 1v1. You're that cool. You're on this branch. Going right there would be good. If you land right here, not good, not good, not good. Because they will follow you directly, and then you might get tagged, because remember, they have a speed boost. So what you're going to want to do is maybe go over here and hit this. Alright, so beginner. You're going to want to learn parallel movement, right? So if you're running in the game, you don't want to run like this. No, you're gonna get tagged. Absolutely. See, the lava monkeys will be running like this. And get you. You're gonna want to run with the ground. Not above it, with the ground. So when you go back, you kind of just go over here. And of course there's other methods to this that aren't the exact same. So like this, or like my iconic left-hand crab run. So once you've mastered that parallel running, which again is just staying with the floor, you're gonna want to do a rotated hand crab run. So this is not intermediate, but definitely not super duper easy if you're just starting. So a crab run kind of just utilize their hands. With a rotated crab run, you're just kind of rotating your hands, and you're doing this motion, so your arm is smacking this way, not super intense, just running, and this arm is smacking forward. Look how fast it is. Very slow. So next, for intermediate, we're gonna have crab running, but crab running is a little too easy since we kind of just showed it, but in a different way. We're gonna do stylistic crab running, so you gotta do it how you do it. Instead of just, I don't know, doing your goofy crab run, maybe make it a little different. Like, maybe it's something like this. Instead of this, it's this. Just whatever suits you best, because crab runs are a very broad form of movement. So my way is just almost the default way. The default way is kind of like this, but I used to do this, but now I kind of just. All right, so this, I call this the flop run, or you can call it the stylistic funny run. So the flop run is kind of, you know, it can be really good when you're getting chased, like how fast you are, you know. Still not the fastest way, but an easier way. And again, like I said, it's stylistic, so you don't have to do my weird thing. You can do maybe this, like this, or if you like this. Alright, so now advanced. Advanced isn't much harder than intermediate. It's really just faster, so ignore intermediate. The pole run, I don't know what you call it, but this is my version of it. Chandler will show you his version in just a second. So you kind of just, and you kind of go faster with it. You kind of just pull your arm back each movement, each time. And in the end, it kind of just looks like this. Don't know if that's the best for breaking the speed cap. Doug, are you stuck? My homie. Bro, he's juking me. No. So, you know, I kind of just pull forward, and it gives me a pretty nice speed boost. I call this the lean method. It really helps me. So this is lean running, right? You're off the ground, and you're running, and you got to stretch your arms out. But if you lean down, you get closer to the floor, and you kind of just, you don't have to stretch your arms out as much, and you can move them more. So here's without. Alright, and then I'll go back and show you with. Game sense. You might have it, you might not have it. If you don't have it, you gotta practice it. So if someone's following you, you're gonna go up the walls maybe, right? Why would you keep going up? They're gonna get to you probably. What you're gonna do is you're probably gonna go branching. Confuse them. You gotta confuse them. That's the whole game. We've been rotating this whole video. We've been showing you how to rotate. You can go on walls to rotate. You can go on branches. So if you're getting sandwiched, one above you, one below you, then what you gotta do is you gotta go forward. Or you're here, and then you kind of just let yourself into the wall. Now they can't tag you because your arm is not a verifiable hitbox. Here's an example of using game sense in a sense of a turn back. You can go here and hit this branch and start branching. So this next thing is only for fun. Do not use this in scrims. You will get insta perma banned. It's called Playspace abusing. If you don't care because you're a pro player and you're never gonna use it, skip to here. So for this, you move in real life. So if you have a big enough play space, you could be here, right? You could be running. But if you play space abuse, you can go faster. And it kind of helps with long jumps too. Alright, so we're here and we're going to play space abuse and also crouch jump. So like crouch down in real life and stand up and it'll give you a little boost. So you ready? Look at that. So next, we're going to do jukes. So you may see people do this. Those people are so jukes. You have to absolutely confuse them. So I call this one the circle juke. No one uses it, but you kind of just. The jukes is basically a word for confusion. So someone's chasing you, you're not just gonna keep running. Instead, you're just gonna be like this. Be unpredictable. Environment abuse. Not in the real world. You cannot get banned in skins for this. You're using the game environment. So here's one that I learned like a year ago. I call this backboarding. So basically, you're gonna go here and maybe you're on the table here, and you can go like and do that. Yeah. So you have lots of things you can abuse, like this slide. If you're getting chased here, then instead of going forward, you can just. That is if they're right on your tail, because otherwise you'll be. You can kind of just wrap yourself around it and juke them.